Hello everybody, my name is RetroBoy03, and welcome to this very retro review we'll be doing today. Seeing the name of this channel, I should probably do more videos like this, but anyways, today we'll be taking a look at the 2011 LEGO Hogwarts set. Now, don't get too excited. As you can see, this is not the big, about $150, I believe, version from 2010. This is the much smaller 2011 version, which I think in some countries might have actually been called the Battle of Hogwarts, but in the US it was just Hogwarts. This set, I believe, retailed for around $50 when it was available. It comes with 466 pieces, and, well, let's get into those minifigs. Starting off here, we have the 2010 LEGO Harry Potter figure, and to me, this guy's just such a classic. I mean, LEGO Harry Potter is really the theme that got me into LEGO in the first place. So, I think it's great to finally have one of the sets again, and to finally have this figure again. So, to get it out of the way, his accessories are a standard LEGO broomstick, as well as a 4-long LEGO bar piece in brown for his wand, which, I'm really glad that they're finally making a new wand piece for the 2018 Harry Potter sets, because those bars were getting really old with them. As you can see, the print for Harry's sweater on his torso is, it's pretty fine for a 2010 minifig. I think they were stretching it a little when they used this on the Dimensions variant in 2016, but for 2010, this is a fine print. It has some nice detail in it, like the striping on the tie and the little wrinkles. I like it. From the back, you can see just the continuation of that detail, and I also kind of like the stripe. Don't get me wrong, I definitely would have preferred if this guy was in his school robes instead of just the sweater, but I can understand why LEGO went with the sweater, because it would have been kind of difficult to produce accurate robes for this figure, but, as you can see, Harry's face print is rather nice. I don't think it captures the greatest likeness to Daniel Radcliffe, but I think it's still fine. I like the lightning scar on there. That's a very important detail, so I'm glad LEGO did it well. And, if we turn his head around, Harry has this slightly more determined expression, which I think is also fine, but the last thing I have to mention on this figure is his hairpiece. Oh boy, this hairpiece. Now, while I've always thought it looked kind of normal on Harry. Again, I grew up with the LEGO Harry Potter line. I had a bunch of the sets. I had both video games. This is what Harry Potter should look like to me. But then the Dimensions version came out, and it had coal hair, and it made this guy look a bit strange, because his hair's a bit off. And then today, LEGO reveals the Hogwarts Great Hall set with the new 2018 Harry minifig with that amazing new hairpiece, as well as a face that just captures a much better likeness to J.K. Rowling. And now I realize that this guy basically looks like he has a burnt muffin taped to the top of his head, so, yeah. But, anyway, that is the 2010 LEGO Harry Potter minifigure. Despite a few flaws, it's a very iconic minifigure to me. Honestly, probably one of my favorite figures of all time, based purely on nostalgia, and yeah, that's him. The other Hogwarts student we get in this Deathly Hallows-based set is none other than Neville Longbottom, the other potential boy who lived, and I'll be honest, this is probably the best-looking figure in the set, in my opinion. It's definitely my favorite. And really, a lot of the detail comes down to that sweater, which is, they just got a lot of nice detail in it. Again, it's not really a sweater, I guess, more of a jacket? I don't know what you'd call that garment. I guess a hoodie would be the best name for it. Still, the detail's not too detailed, but it is still nice. And I really like the back print as well. But the face is really where this figure shines, because they got a really great likeness to the actor that portrayed Neville. Obviously, in how he looked around when the Deathly Hallows released. And, yeah, this face just looks really accurate, and if I turn it around, you can see Neville's alternate face, which also looks pretty good. Sort of a more angry expression, and yeah, that's Neville. Figure number 3 in this set is Remus Lupin, who I think looks pretty nice. He has this nice dark tan suit, which isn't perfect. I mean, it's pretty simple, but, well, actually, seeing how simple it pretty much is perfect now that I think of it. Very simple back printing, and the hairpiece I'm not too sure about. I mean, I don't know. I feel so maybe LEGO could have gotten a bit better nowadays, but honestly, think about what they had in 2011. This was probably one of the best choices they had, so I don't know. Professor Lupin does just get this single-sided face, and removing his hairpiece, you can see it a bit better, if it'll focus. I kind of like the scars, even though they're really not accurate to how they were placed in the movie. And I don't think they captured a great likeness to the actor here. I honestly feel as though the 2004 Prisoner of Azkaban version did a lot better, even though that figure's face looks so weird. And so yeah, that's Professor Lupin. He's pretty simple, pretty nice, and he cannot turn into a werewolf, so silent tears. The last protagonist figure we get in this set is Professor Sprout, who seems like a really random inclusion, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know why LEGO decided to just put her in here. I feel as though there are some other characters, like maybe if we wanted a professor, I think Slughorn could have worked a bit better here. I don't know. I mean, I feel as though Sprout could have worked pretty well in the 2007 Order of the Phoenix Hogwarts, since that one had her greenhouse. Yeah, I don't know. But no matter how out of place this figure might seem, it's still pretty good. I mean, I like the printing for the trench coat, I guess you would say. I think that would be the correct term for this, yeah. It looks fine. Some pretty simple back printing. And a face. Yeah, not too much to say about this figure, but it is definitely Professor Sprout's. Kinda wish she had earmuffs, though, for mandrakes. Next up, we have one of my favorite minifigures from the 2010-2011 Harry Potter reboot line. We have Lucius Malfoy, the father of Draco, and I just think this figure looks really nice, and if you couldn't already tell, all the good guys had brown wands, and all the bad guys have black wands, except Voldemort has a white wand, and Dumbledore has a tan wand because potatoes. Anyway, but yeah, I feel as though Lucius looks pretty nice here with sort of the robes printed on the torso. I think that's a nice design, as well as sort of, I don't know what the entwining snakes, like, what that would represent, but it still looks nice, as well as this green undershirt. I feel as though the face print is fine. I mean, it's not a perfect likeness to the actor, but I think it still looks pretty good. Not a fan of the hairpiece, though. I mean, like, there should really also be some hair coming over, like, framing his face on the sides and coming down over the front of his torso, and that's just completely missing here, but really there aren't any hair pieces LEGO has that would really work any better than this, so this is fine, but the absolute coolest part of this figure is that he does get an alternate face, but before I show you that, he also gets a hood piece, which is really nice. I always love when LEGO includes multiple options for your figures, and well, multiple options is something else, because obviously Lucius Malfoy came in a few different sets, so if you had multiples of him, and you obviously don't want multiple Malfoys, so you could just turn his face around, and now you just have a generic Death Eater. That's a really nice face print. Like, honestly, this is probably the best print in the entire set. It's really nice and detailed. I like the multiple reflective colors on there. And obviously this is based off of the silver Death Eater masks from the Order of the Phoenix onward, and not those just skulls that they were wearing on their faces in the Goblet of Fire. That was a terrible movie. Pretty good book, though, but the movie was terrible for the Goblet of Fire. But anyway, yeah. So that's Lucius Malfoy, and now let's get a look at our other human antagonist. So here we have a Slytherin figure, this being Gregory Goyle, and I think this figure looks pretty nice. He does have the Slytherin torso, and if you're interested, it's actually not just a palette-swapped version of the Gryffindor torso. It is actually different. Obviously, it has the Slytherin crest, but the wrinkles are in different places, and if you look closely, you can see that there's actually a an emblem, or a symbol, whichever you prefer, of a snake printed on the tie, which is pretty nice. Goyle just has this single-sided face, which I think looks fine. Not sure about the hairpiece, though. I feel as though maybe it should have been in black. I don't know. And there's his back printing. Pretty simple as figures go, but still pretty nice. Okay, so the final figure we get in this set is this Dementor, which is... well, it's a Lego Dementor. These guys have always been pretty weird, in my opinion, so let's just talk about it. Okay, so lifting up his robe, you can see that he has a skeleton body with skeleton arms, and then this weird, like, pogo stick leg. I've never understood that. I mean, like, Dementors really shouldn't have anything there at all. Like, I kind of wish Lego had just made that piece in trans clear. I don't know. But yeah, you can fold his arms out to make it look like he's reaching for you to give you the dreaded kiss, and, well, his mouth is open in that position, so that's nice, and the Dementor does also get an alternate face for just when its mouth's closed, but why would you use this face? I mean, it's a nice inclusion by Lego, but no one would ever display a Dementor with its mouth closed. You can't even tell what it is then. I mean, this guy doesn't even really look like a Dementor, so the fact that he has the gaping mouth is really the one thing that makes this guy look like one. But yeah, you do have the torn cloak, which looks nice. In fact, on one side, you can see it has this little hole in it, and if you're curious, on the other side, it's not the same sort of rough material. It's very smooth on the inside, but I like this since it is actually a very similar material, though not the same as the one LEGO uses on capes now. So yeah, so those are all the figures in the set, so now let's move on to the set itself. Actually, I done goofed. The set also includes just this little trans clear disc for the Dementor as a little stand. It's a thing. Okay, now let's move on to the actual set. So here we have Hogwarts Castle, and wow, for a $50 set, this is quite large. I mean, just comparing this structure to the size of a figure, you can really see that you get a lot of stuff here. And, well, to make it a bit easier to review, luckily you can split the set into different parts, so that's what I'm going to do now. See you in a second. So, starting off here, we have this little bridge section, which isn't very complex, but it is nice. I like the, sort of how we have these sand green cones framing the sides of the stairs, as well as up here for, like, these little spires. That's nice. You can see that these pieces have these Technic pins, which is where you would connect this bridge to the towers, and these bits are hinged, so you can rotate where the tower is in relation to this. And this is basically the same on the other side. But this build actually does have a play feature to it, which is nice, since a lot of Harry Potter sets don't really have play features. This is nice to see, but you see this little knob back here? Well, all we have to do is turn this in the correct direction, and, well then, you will see that the floor of the bridge will explode. It's just a couple of these 4x6 plates, which just rest on top of here. So, I'm just going to try to show you again. So, obviously, when you turn the crank, you move some pieces, and you blow the top off, revealing these, trans neon orange, I guess these are supposed to be flame pieces. They don't really look like flames, but, I mean, valiant attempt, I guess. And obviously the idea here is you could just set some Death Eaters up on this, and then you could just have Neville, I believe, in the movie. It was Neville in the movie, right? I mean, this scene never happened in the book, but I believe in the movie Neville blew up the bridge, so you could just have Neville detonate the bridge and take out some Death Eaters. Or Gregory Goyle, if he feels like falling over. He did. Okay, so that's the bridge, and now let's move on to the first of the two towers. So here we have the first of the two towers, and zooming in, you can see that the bottom of the tower, I think, is pretty nice. Yeah, it's sort of sitting on this rocky base, which sort of makes sense, since in the movies Hogwarts is built sort of on a cliff. And you can see that basically for all of the old LEGO, well, I don't want to say old, but LEGO Harry Potter sets, especially the 2010 to 2011 ones, the towers weren't really round as much as they were octagonal, since you just have these side panels here. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the shape, but it's fine. I like the window details, I think that's good, but I'm looking up. You can see this sort of open air section, and we'll get a better look at that from the back in a minute. I do like the railings, and then up top we have the classic sand green roof, which is mainly one piece. But I gotta say, I will definitely be missing this, as in the new LEGO Harry Potter sets, the roof is just a dark bluish gray, which, honestly, that is a bit more accurate, but it's also so sad to see these pieces go, since, I mean, come on, it's just so iconic. But I'm going back down. You can see that if I turn this around on the interior, the very bottom floor is, I guess, just supposed to be catacombs under the school. I mean, for all I know, this is supposed to be the Chamber of Secrets. I really have no idea, but under here you just have this little rattlesnake, which I believe is supposed to represent Nagini. I mean, not the greatest job on LEGO's part. I mean, it's literally just a snake in a cave, and if you can't tell, there isn't even enough space in here to stand a minifigure, so like, this is clearly just, I don't really know why this is here. I mean, I get that they wanted to have this set look like it was built on a cliff, and I really do like that detail, but I kind of wish that they did make this section a bit taller, and maybe include more in there than just a snack. But, then we have this very nice section for, I guess, this is supposed to be maybe a Gryffindor bedroom. I mean, we do have Gryffindor colors on the sheets for this bunk bed, and that can be easily removed, and it's a very nice build, and you could easily fit 2 figures on here. So obviously, like, just to show you, I mean, I'm not going to take their wands off or anything, but you could just take, Neville, and if I remove his broomstick, Harry, and just sort of set them on here. I mean, is this even in shot? Okay, so the guy on the bottom will have a bit more trouble because of the railing piece kind of interfering, but you can set it up like that, so that's nice. I like that, but obviously, if you remove the bed, then this section is pretty much empty, so you do want to leave it in here, but I do like that you can take it out. That is a nice feature. Moving up, you can see that this sort of balcony section, really, all you have is this globe, but it's a very nice print. I've always liked these LEGO globes, and you can just spin that around, and it is 2 different prints, which I am very glad about. And moving up to the top of the tower, you can see that in here we just have this little divination room. Hey, why didn't we get Professor Trelawney in this set instead of Professor Sprout, who, again, kind of pointless, just knocking her out of the tower, but this is very simple. You just get 2 little coffee mugs, which I guess should be teacups, as well as a crystal ball, which I kind of like because it has this little Lego diamond piece in there, if you can see that. So yeah, that's pretty nice, and now let's move on to the other tower included in the set. So here we have the second tower, which is basically the same height as the first, so you can see that the bottom 2 sections from the exterior are literally identical. But then this section is a bit different, as you can see that there's still a balcony, but it's much more closed off. There's really just this railing. I think it's kind of odd that the walls here are actually wider than down here. That's kind of an odd incongruity, but it's fine, I guess. And then the top is also the same, but you can see that if I turn this around, the bottom floor is completely empty this time, not even a snake down there, and then the second, or I guess that would be like the Chamber of Secrets or Catacombs. I still don't know what that is, but I guess the first actual floor just has a couple stickers for some magical paintings, and that's all. Kind of wish that LEGO had put something in there, or anything, maybe like a suit of armor, a chair, a book, I don't know, something. I feel as though this section could really have been used for something, but they just didn't. But then the next 2 floors on this tower are pretty awesome. Next up here we have this little classroom, I guess, or maybe an office, I'm not sure, but the box shows that you should put Lupin in here, so I guess this could be Lupin's office. So obviously you can just sit him in the swivel chair. You have this very nice sticker here for this blackboard. I like that. And then, you can see, I'll just pull Lupin back out of his swivel chair. Alas. You can see that on the table in front of the window, you just have a skull, a little potion, as well as a quill in a jar of ink. What I find is a bit odd is that you do have to remove the table if you want to have someone peering out over the balcony, but it's fine. Okay, the last floor on this model is probably my favorite thing in the whole set, so behold! It's just this very simple model for the Mirror of Erised. I mean, it's not very complex, not even that accurate. I mean, let me just try to get it fully in focus. I mean, really, it should be fully gold. Let me just, there we go. But, I don't know, I really like this build. It's pretty charming. And I kind of wish that maybe this part at the top had been in brown instead of black. But overall, this is pretty nice. I like the shaping on it. I like the sticker, although I feel so maybe that could have been mirror-y. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a big fan of the Mirror of Erised, so I'm definitely glad to see this in this set. I mean, and when you think about it, it's really kind of an odd choice, because this is something from the first movie, in a set based off of the last movie. So that's really cool to see, and I think it's interesting how this Mirror of Erised is at the top of the tower, and in the upcoming Hogwarts Great Hall set that I'm actually making a video about as I make this video. That didn't make sense, but I mean, like, I've already started that video, and I'll be finishing it after this video. Anyway, that set also comes with a Mirror of Erised hidden in the top of the tower. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, so that's this tower, and that's the set. So now let's get on to my final verdict. So obviously, seeing as how this set has been out of print for years, I can't exactly give you my recommendation of whether or not you should go and buy this. But, I don't know what to say here, then. The set's pretty good. I mean, is it perfect? No. Does it have a few flaws? Yeah, but the figure selection here is absolutely amazing. Like a lot of LEGO Harry Potter sets, the best part of the set is, hands down, the minifigs. And I am very glad to say that with the upcoming Great Hall set for 2018, LEGO, while the figures are still amazing, the build is also really great to meet it. Don't get me wrong, this set has a fine build, I just feel as though it could have been so much more, but I feel that this playset is absolutely huge for $50, though. I mean, you get just a lot of mass here. I mean, I kind of wish that maybe LEGO would fit in one or two more play features, like maybe at one of these open balcony sections. They could have had, maybe you could just drop something onto attackers below. Maybe there could have been like an exploding wall function here where there's literally nothing except a few paintings. It would have been cool if maybe one of these rock sections could have been knocked out. I don't know. I just feel as though there's a little bit of missed opportunity here, and I kind of wish that maybe LEGO would put something else here. I don't know, but still, for $50, great figures, pretty good set. Would I recommend it? If you can find it for a good deal, like maybe, this was originally $50, so if you can find it for $50 or less, absolute steal. If you could find it for, I'd say that $80 is a good price. I'd say that if it starts going up more than $80, it's a bit much, and I would never pay more than $100 for this set. Especially seeing as how, again, LEGO Harry Potter's coming back, so there's no need to get this set when there's a new Great Hall set, which is going to be absolutely amazing, and I don't know how I'm going to wait until August 1st to buy that. Then again, I'll kind of have to wait till August 1st, since it'll probably take me that long for me to get the $100 to buy that set, but I'm getting off track, so yeah. Overall, I guess I would rate this set a solid B+, I would say. So, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see all of you in the next video. Farewell.